The courtroom was silent, not the ordinary kind of silence, the heavy kind, the kind that presses against your chest. The judge had just asked if anyone wished to speak. That's when the homeless man stood up. His hands trembled slightly, but his voice didn't. "Your Honor, I'm the reason she's alive." Gasps rippled across the room. Reporters leaned forward. Lawyers exchanged confused looks. Even the woman he was pointing at, Emma Carter, stared at him in disbelief. Because 3 weeks ago, she barely knew his name. Emma Carter was the kind of person people admired from a distance. 32 years old, founder and CEO of a rapidly growing tech startup in downtown Chicago. Her schedule was color-coded. Her phone never stopped vibrating. Investors loved her. Employees feared disappointing her. She moved fast, thought fast, lived fast. Every morning she took the same subway entrance, and every morning near the stairs sat the same man. Thin blanket, worn jacket, cardboard sign, anything helps, God bless. Most commuters walked past him like he was part of the concrete. Emma did too, until the morning the temperature dropped below freezing. The wind was vicious that day, the kind that cuts through wool and skin alike. As Emma hurried toward the subway, she noticed him shaking, not subtly, violently. For a brief second, their eyes met. His weren't begging, they were tired.
Emma hesitated. She didn't know why. Maybe it was the memory of her father, who once struggled to pay rent. Maybe it was guilt for her expensive coat. Maybe it was something deeper. Without overthinking, she reached into her purse, pulled out a folded $100 bill, and placed it in his cup. Then she removed her extra scarf, soft gray wool, and handed it to him. "For food, and somewhere warm," she said quickly. He looked stunned. "Thank you," he whispered, like he wasn't used to saying the words. Emma nodded and walked away, already answering an email. To her, 3 weeks later, Emma's life nearly ended in a parking garage. It was late. A board meeting had dragged on for hours. Investors were pressuring her about a major deal. Her mind was still racing as her heels clicked across the empty concrete structure. She didn't see the shadow move behind her. A hand grabbed her purse. She spun around. A masked man shoved her violently. Her head slammed against the pavement. The world tilted sideways. Before she could scream properly, he began dragging her toward a dark van parked nearby. Her vision blurred. Then she heard shouting, "Hey, let her go." Footsteps thundered across concrete. It was him, the man from the subway, Daniel. He had been sleeping near the garage entrance to stay out of the snowstorm. When he heard the struggle, he didn't think. He ran. The attacker swung at him. A punch landed hard against Daniel's jaw. He staggered, but didn't fall. He saw a metal pipe lying near a support column. He grabbed it and swung wildly. The attacker cursed, dropped the purse, and fled into the night. Emma stopped moving. Daniel's heart pounded. He knelt beside her, terrified she wasn't breathing. She was faintly. He removed his only coat and placed it over her. His hand shook as he unlocked her phone using her fingerprint and called 911. Then he waited. He stayed until he saw the flashing red and blue lights. And before anyone thought to ask who he was, he slipped away. Emma woke up in a hospital bed. Concussion, fractured wrist, severe bruising. She was lucky, the doctor said. Very lucky. Police informed her they had arrested a suspect trying to pawn her jewelry. Case closed, it seemed. But then something unexpected happened. Daniel was arrested too. A witness reported seeing a homeless man holding a metal pipe near the unconscious victim. Security footage showed him standing over her body. To investigators, it looked suspicious. Maybe he attacked her. Maybe he staged the rescue. It was an easy story to believe. A homeless man, a weapon, a wealthy victim. Daniel had no lawyer, no savings, no one to speak for him. When questioned, he simply said, "I did what anyone should." Emma was stunned when she saw his booking photo. She recognized him instantly. "He saved me," she insisted. But without proof, her words weren't enough.
Her PR team advised distance. Getting involved could damage investor confidence. Board members warned her about headlines. Major funding negotiations were days away. If she publicly defended him and new evidence emerged against him, her credibility could collapse. For the first time in her career, Emma felt something heavier than pressure. She felt responsibility. She couldn't sleep. She kept remembering that morning in the snow, the way his hands shook as he accepted the scarf, the way he said thank you. And now he was sitting alone in a jail cell because he chose to help her. The courtroom was packed the day of the hearing. Daniel stood at the defense table in ill-fitting borrowed clothes. When the judge asked if anyone wished to speak, Emma stood. Whispers filled the room. She walked forward calmly. She described everything: the scarf, the money, the hospital timeline. She hired a private investigator who enhanced the security footage. The video now clearly showed Daniel running toward the attack, not initiating it. Phone records proved he made the emergency call seconds after the attacker fled. Forensic analysis confirmed his fingerprints were only on the pipe, nowhere else. The prosecution had nothing left. Charges were dropped. The tension dissolved into stunned silence. That's when Daniel stood and spoke. "Your Honor, I'm the reason she's alive." He paused, eyes fixed on the floor. "But she's the reason I remembered I was human." He explained that before that freezing morning, he had given up completely. He had lost his engineering job years ago after medical bills consumed his savings. Depression followed, then eviction. He had stopped believing he mattered until someone looked at him like he did. "When I heard her scream," he said quietly, "I didn't think about danger. I just remembered she didn't walk past me. There wasn't a dry eye in the room." Months later, Daniel wasn't on the street anymore. Emma didn't just give him money. She gave him opportunity. After reviewing his background, she discovered he had studied mechanical engineering. She offered him a facilities management role at her company, not charity. Trust. Within a year, Daniel was supervising operations. Employees respected him. Investors admired the company's renewed social mission. Emma also launched a foundation supporting transitional housing and employment programs, but neither of them talked much about the foundation. They talked about the scarf. Daniel kept it folded in his locker at work. A reminder: kindness is never small. It travels, it returns, it transforms, and sometimes it saves your life.